Coverage today is brought to you by the members of the DL 500 Club. For just $10 a month, you get exclusive content and send me to all the races. Welcome to Friday here at Sebring. It's been both busy and not so busy. Not so much track activity, but certainly a lot of prep work going into the 12 hours tomorrow of Sebring. We've got a couple of cool things for you. You might have already seen the extended interview I did with Connor Zilic. You'll see a clip of that in this video. We'll talk about qualifying, we'll preview the race, and we'll also talk to Dirk Mueller, one of the drivers for the Ford Performance Mustang GT3 program, with some pretty good insight into what to expect in the GT division tomorrow. Spoiler alert, it has a lot to do with the Michelin rubber underneath each and every one of the entries here at Sebring. So let's take a look first at the results of qualifying, and it might have a little bit of something to do with the team I'm standing in front of, but certainly on the pole position overall and in GTP, it's the number 31 Whelen Cadillac Racing Cadillac GTP car, Pippo Durrani doing the qualifying, and he will share the car with Jack Aitken and Tom Blomqvist over from the IndyCar side, formerly of Meyer-Shank Racing over here on the IMSA schedule. AO Racing qualified with their Orica on the pole position in LMP2. PJ Hyatt, Paul Luke Chatan, and Matthew Brabham sharing driving duties in that car. No surprise in GT Pro, the 14 Vassar Sullivan Lexus of Jack Hawksworth, Ben Barnicoat, and Kyle Kirkwood. It's been up front pretty much the entire weekend, and frankly, I think they might walk the field tomorrow if I was a betting man. The 47 Cheddalar Racing Ferrari was awarded the pole after the Mercedes, the Windward car, was out of qualifying because of a technical infraction. IMSA threw them out just about an hour or two after qualifying. Roberto Lacorte, Giorgio Santiago, and Antonio Fuoco over from the Hypercar program in that effort, so maybe a bit of a sleeper there. So you might have already seen it, but if you haven't, be sure to check it out later. But we did a great interview with Connor Zilic earlier this I thought we were getting yelled at for standing in front of it. Who knows? The Sebring is just a different beast. Before I send it to the Connor Zilic interview, I just want to say how much I love this race. Like, this track, it's so old school. The racing is old school. The cars take a beating. There's great views for the spectators. I just love Sebring. Maybe I'm just sick of Orlando too. That might be part of my problem. But yeah, great vibes here at Sebring. But yeah, we talked to Connor Zilic, who's, in my opinion, going to be one of those NASCAR drivers that we're going to be talking about in the same breath of a Kyle Larson or a Jeff Gordon here in the next couple of years. And it's always cool when you get an opportunity to talk to them before they get famous. Well, he's already technically famous. He won the Rolex 24 a couple of months ago. So Connor Zilic is a cool dude, and here's a clip of our extended interview we've already posted on the channel.
I want to get to Le Mans. I want to win the Le Mans 24-hour race. That's, as soon as I won Daytona, I was like, man, that's cool, but I want to win Le Mans.
So the GT division this week has been completely dominated by the Lexuses. And while I think that's probably going to still be the case in the race, we had an opportunity to talk to Dirk Mueller of the Ford Performance team, and Dirk gave us a very interesting bit of insight. Because it is kind of abnormally, unseasonably hot here at Sebring, we're expecting temperatures exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. Tires are going to be at a premium in the GT division. The Ford Performance team, with team manager Larry Holt at the helm, made an interesting decision. Let's hear from Dirk about the development of the Ford GT and also the strategy that's going to go into tomorrow's race.
At the minute, we played a big card. Larry was super smart. He gave us, like, guys, we know what we need here. We're just saving tires. So our two cars didn't go second practice, and we definitely saved a set of tires there. It looks like there is like a second between P1 and P last. It might be sounding large. It's a long track. It's not worrying me. I would be happy to be on the upper end, on the closer end, but like I said, we're still learning. We probably sacrificed also maybe a little bit of qualifying, which hopefully plays out tomorrow in the race, just knock on wood. And we are all knowing it's race number 2, and everything is coming together, and we're looking forward, and we know we have a bright future, and we will win races, that's for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. GTP. Cadillac, unbeaten in the last 3 years in the Sebring 12 hours. They've got the front row locked out, 31 from 01 on the front row. Porsche, of course, was extremely strong at Daytona, extremely strong in the World Endurance Championship opener as well. They look strong in practice, and certainly, as we've seen in the past couple of years, regardless of IMSA formula, typically the turbocharged cars come alive at night. So will that be a disadvantage for the normally aspirated Cadillac? I guess we'll have to find out on that one, but I think it is probably Porsche versus Cadillac for the overall win tomorrow. I'd be surprised if we saw anything different, but I like surprises too. LMP2, an Oreca will win. That's nothing against Sean Creech Motorsports, who we did a great documentary on yesterday, but certainly you'd think that it's going to be an Oreca. And if I'm picking an Oreca, I'm going to go with the 11 TDS racing car. I think that car has been consistently fast throughout the weekend. I think they're going to be up front at the end of 12 hours. GT Pro, it's hard to pick against Lexus, but typically when you look at a team that dominates a weekend, they don't always win. And so if I'm not picking Lexus, I'm probably going to pick Corvette. We'll go with the 3 car, just for posterity's sake. GTD. GTD is always an interesting one because there's so many cars, right? You never quite know who to pick. You never know quite who's going to be fast towards the end of the race. They didn't totally throw Windward Racing out of the race, and I can't imagine whatever technical infraction they did make is actually going to affect their pace all that much. Qualifying over 12 hours, particularly at an IMSA sports car endurance race, doesn't mean all that much because you will get wave rounds, you'll get opportunities to come back through the field. It's hard to bet against Windward Racing, and so you know what? Back to the front. Windward Racing, I think, will win later tomorrow. So those are my picks. Those are my thoughts, and you'll hear more of them, of course, tomorrow after the running of the 12 hours, which may well be the most IMSA endurance race of all time. I'm not sure what exactly that means yet. I guess you'll have to watch the race to find out. By the way, shout out to IMSA. According to everything I know, they will be streaming the race for everyone outside of the U.S. over on YouTube. So that's potentially great for the... Hey, that's Kyle Kirkwood. Hey, get that man. I picked you to win, buddy. So you better make me look smart. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love Kyle Kirkwood. Yeah, Captain Kirk has been fast. The Lexus has been fast. Look at Kirkwood's a company man. He knew he was going to get more talking done about the Lexus. So yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a race tomorrow. So if you are checking it out on YouTube, if you're an international viewer, or maybe you have a VPN or something, I don't know. I would never endorse that. But if you do, I don't know. Maybe you could watch it. But I would suggest that whichever way you watch it, make sure to watch the race tomorrow because the Sebring 12 hours truly is America's endurance event. I mean, this track has so much history. It's amazing. So I think it's going to put on a good show. It usually does. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and we'll see if my predictions are at all accurate.